Okay, that was really quick. Live. Hey, how you all going? Uh, this going live thing is always a bit weird. I apologize if you always wonder why I'm saying things like that at the start of a live stream, whether you're in the live stream, like CrossFitter and Pugwash are, or you're watching it back later. Because whenever you do a live stream, you click a button that says go live, and sometimes there's a significant delay, like 5 or even 10 seconds. You get the little spinny thing, and then you go live. So you're seeing him live, and sometimes you go click and it's live, and I was like, okay, that took me a bit by surprise. And tonight, that's what happened. I clicked and it almost instantly said you're live, which is slightly off-putting. But hey, thanks for joining me. If you're watching this back later, thank you people coming into the chat now. Now, I am expecting AIDzee to come in very soon, but sometimes he has misadventures. I was texting him a bit earlier, and he's all about it. He's been he's been researching stuff about nuclear weapons, and I asked him to look up the history of using they as a non-gendered singular pronoun as opposed to using he or she. So, and hello also Justin and Musical Aviator. So actually, what did he said he'd been looking at some things. If we look at the text from him, yeah, he can say that about his nephews if he wants. Oh, and he thinks he's got a whole bunch of stuff from his research that connects up. So that ought to be interesting. I don't know. I might have to place limits on him. He tends to go on discursive rambles, and I might have to pull him back into line. He promises, to try and keep the rambling to a minimum, but we all do our best in this world, and sometimes, we don't always keep to our word. Oh, nice. Musical Aviator going for a promotion at work. Excellent. That's onward and upward. Good to see you getting in there and having a go. And I looked up a theme for tonight's live stream. And if you're seeing the title, of course, you know what the theme is. It's International Talk Like a Pirate Day. And it's honestly, I didn't even realize that. I thought I kept a handle on silly things like that, but apparently not. I missed this one. I literally just looked up like September 19th, what, national or international day is it? And of course, it being International Pirate Day, Talk Like a Pirate Day, really stood out. I'm just going to post a link. But yeah, before I saw that, I actually saw is the Independence Day for a Caribbean nation. St. Kitts and Nevis got their independence from England. And interestingly, those two things, of course, the Caribbean is always associated with rum, and pirates are often associated with rum. Well, pirates are often associated with the Caribbean, thanks to Disney. And so, yeah, you guess I'm going to make a rum cocktail at the halfway mark. Why did I say interview? It's international. I'm just trying to write this. I'm honestly not good at talking and writing something that isn't what I'm talking about. So International Talk Like a Pirate Day. And possibly featuring AIDzee. And I got that wrong. Okay. Okie-doo. Coolly. Justin, how often do I get hate mail? Not very often. I tended to get a lot from the one person, and I either like my other haters, they're in jail, or they can't afford stamps anymore. I always thought it was pretty funny that someone would go to the trouble of writing a mini essay to basically express how obsessed with me they are. Is actually quite surreal, absolutely surreal. And but they're out there. All these people obsessed with me. I haven't had full on one for ages. So who knows? Like I did hear the rumor that God, why am I forgetting his name? Video Dude. Venereal disease in the old, no longer accepted terminology. I heard rumor he was getting out of prison, maybe, but I hear he has problems with discipline and says and does things that reduce his chances of being released from incarceration. Hey, Safa, is AIDzee coming out tonight? My assumption was yes. I was texting him earlier, like only about an hour ago, and he was all for it. And now it's radio silence. So who knows? Who actually knows? Very strange misadventures befall him on the regular, and something might have happened to him tonight. Who knows? I'm hoping to hear from him soon, because I didn't even get a reply to my last text when I sent him the link to join the stream. But yeah, I was texting him, at about 6, between 6 and 7. And what am I drinking? Well, it's my tropical juice at the moment. I actually mixed a few things together. It's mainly pineapple and coconut. So I just mixed myself a tropical fruit juice, basically, and lemonade. Actually, it's mostly lemonade. But easing into it. But yes, Talk Like a Pirate Day. Actually, it's obviously going to be a rum cocktail, and I've got a few different sorts of rum. I'm going to search for best pirate cocktails. See if a recipe, pirate-themed cocktails for a party. John from the John Pass pirate ship. Well, let's see. Okay, the Captain Jack. It's not a very original name. It's, let's see, rum, pineapple juice, lime juice, falernum, sugar. Okay, so that's rum. I've got pineapple juice and lime juice and some sugar syrup. That's like a bit of a variation of a zombie, really, all those sorts of rum. So, okay, they're doing Pirates of the Caribbean. This one's Free the Sparrow. It's rum, pineapple, orange, coconut, grenadine. It's a little bit boring. A Buried Treasure, strawberry puree, lime juice, pink champagne. That's not a rum one, so we're not having that. Shipwrecked, pineapple chunks, ice, rum. Jesus, that's a punch, isn't it? That's a lot. Oh yeah, serve 6. I was looking at the measures on it, and they seem outrageous. And I read it through, and it's put it in a blender and serve 6. And it's like, yeah, okay. The Wrecked Pirate, rum, coconut rum, curacao, lemon lime soda. Yeah, no, it's boring. A Tropical Storm, There is something very weird. Oh, Mrs. Angry is playing Red Dead Redemption, and there is some very weird singing coming from next door, which I'm assuming is the game. Can't be sure. Tropical Storm, pineapple, orange, rum, Campari. Fuck you, Campari. I hate Campari. I've just got something personal against Campari. This is cranberry, orange juice, rum, amaretto, which I don't actually have any, but I have something else here. Caribbean Queen. That's what was that guy's name? Billy Ocean. Had a sort of a hit with Caribbean Queen back in the 80s, I think. That's rum and pineapple on coke. They're very repetitive. Oh, lemongrass juice. That would make for a different taste. Lemongrass juice. Nice, Safa. That is a quality drink. A James Squire beer with sausage roll and chips for dinner. That is a class dinner. I had a pasta bake thingy, like mac and cheese with. I also had some meatballs in it. And, you know, speaking of pirates, a strange hooded figure coming into the room to get a drink from the fridge, I think. Yes. Very expertly avoiding being ID'd on camera. So like I did the Google search for a pirate themed thing, and people also ask, and it's like, do pirates drink gin? Good Lord. What a funny gin. Because English sailors notoriously drank gin. They were paid in gin. That I don't know if you can hear that weird singing, but it is weirding me out. Okay, the found a place that's actually rum cocktails for Talk Like a Pirate Day. That seems appropriate. CrossFit, you think it sounds like spam, baked beans and spam, or are you just thinking about dinner? Okay, so do any of these leap out as particularly interesting? So I'm not really into tiki drinks. Most, piratey drinks, rum drinks, I like tiki drinks. I don't dislike tiki drinks at all. It's just I'm not mostly into them. Sparkling wine and Jamaican rum make for a compelling riff on the Negroni. No, fuck that. As soon as you say Negroni, you're on my wrong side. The rabbit. Yeah, coffee. No, I don't want a coffee liqueur. Lemon balm. Coffee, fuck off. Pinata. I hate it when they just list them and they don't fucking... Oh, that's a classic. The Queen Park Swizzle. That's actually a classic one. Cough. The Pinata. It's pineapple, lemon. Fuck off with your pop-ups. Fucking websites with their fucking pop-ups. Rum. Yeah, it's like, rum. I'm probably just going to improvise something. I've got a pineapple coconut juice here. What's this one? A Queen Park Swizzle. Oh, that's a long drink. I don't really want to do that. You top it with well, this is water in this case. Okay, sweetener. Yeah, mint leaves. I don't really have any mint leaves. Lime juice. Rum. Yeah, no, that's pretty uninspired. No. This is a good one. This is I think it's a Brazilian drink. Caipirinhas. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But that's made with sort of rum's cousin, Kasha, which I actually have. They're going like lime, ginger, no, fuck off. Sugar, mint leaves, and I have Brazilian rum, such as a Kasha. Technically not rum, but it's fair to call it Brazilian rum. Oh, fuck, ginger beer, no, fuck off. But yeah, maybe I should... a zombie is a lot of different sorts of rum, and I have counting Kasha, I do have 4 sorts of rum. That's kind of what I should do, isn't it? I should do like a 4 rum. Hey, Luke, how's it going? Safa, did I get tax return? I still haven't done my tax. And because I'm supposed to do company tax every quarter, I'm a quarter behind. But my accountant finally called me today, so it might be done soon. And then I'll have to do another quarter's GST almost straight up. Hope the tax department doesn't get pissed off at me, because they do sometimes. But my accountant is very good at keeping them in line. So I have not filed my tax yet, so I'm not sure what will happen. But yes, it says a Kaimuku daiquiri. It's named after Honolulu. What's that? That's sugar syrup, white rum, lime juice, celery bitters. Don't actually have celery bitters. Have a look. I don't know how much difference the different bitters make. I have a lot of different bitters and similar things. What's this one? Rum. Brandy. And apple cider. I don't actually have any apple cider. I usually do, and I don't have any at the moment. Sugar syrup, lemon juice. Yeah, I reckon I'm just going to do a version of a zombie, actually. Oh, that's a good name. A Goombay Smash. Sounds like a... Is it raining? Or is it just windy? Weather's so weird here. It's not meant to rain, I don't think, so it's probably just wind I can hear. It has been very... Yeah, this is pineapple juice, orange juice, rum. Rum. Yes, so there's all these ones that you say, put lots of rum, rosemary tangerine cooler, pineapple mint mojito, strawberry lemonade smash, a tropical storm. That kind of sounds interesting, a tropical storm. Pineapple, orange, rum, Campari. Fuck off, Campari. Maybe I'll tell the story of why I hate Campari so much, besides the fact I just don't like it. But there's a particular incident. It wasn't a drunken incident. What's this? Spice Rain? Yeah, I'm literally just gonna Boston Tea Party, Isle of Pines. That's an interesting name for one. Anyway, is it pomegranate? I think I actually have some pomegranate. Sugar and white rum, grapefruit juice. Yep. No, I think I'm just going to do zombie. Oh, wait a sec. Look, okay. I keep finding these pirate-themed drink pages. I keep wanting to try them out. Yeah, look, it's lots and lots of wind. Oh, God, Suffer, what do I think about the Robodebt court case? About time. For those who don't know what that is a particularly shit thing that's happening in Australia, has been for a couple of years. The government has been wrongly calculating the earnings of people who are on benefits. And then we call it Robodebt because then people get robo-called with this thing saying, you owe Centrelink money and we're going to fuck you up. And they've aggressively pursued people. There's been a really significant number of deaths linked to the Robodebt campaign, just because people who were already on sickness benefits and the stress of it ran them into the ground. They died. There were suicides. And it's basically sick, fucked up, wrong, immoral class warfare, which is just, I think it's on the business card for government ministers that, they conduct sick, wrong, immoral class warfare. A little bit more lemonade. I'm just going to empty that bottle. And it's flat as well because I opened that last week and didn't drink it. So it's not even fizzy, but, it's sweet. So, yes. So, yeah, the Robodebt thing is fucked and wrong. And then finally, there's been a class action lawsuit filed against the government to basically say the whole Robodebt system's illegal. And I hope it works, but the government, being the government, won't accept any responsibility and won't change shit no matter what happens. But it's good that people have been fighting back against the Robodebt bullshit because it's really fucking sick and evil. And yeah, it's just fucked. I got some more supposed pirate drinks. Yeah, okay. Daiquiri is a classic. That's just rum, simple syrup, and lime juice. A bumbo, which is an awesome name, which is rum, lemon juice, grenadine, and nutmeg. Might even have some ground nutmeg. We've got a lot of. I know if you're going to be a serious cocktail maker, you'd make it fresh. You'd actually have a nutmeg thing, a little grater and grate it on. I don't have fresh nutmeg. I'm pretty sure I've got ground nutmeg. Don't know if I want to do that. A dark and stormy. That's ginger beer. Fuck, I hate ginger beer. Sangria. Oh yeah, red wine, apple brandy. Gin, maple syrup. There you go. Grated cinnamon. Again, don't think of fresh cinnamon, but I think you've got ground cinnamon. A Barbary Coast, Scotch gin, creme de cacao, cream and nutmeg. Trader Vic's fog cutter. So Orgeat, which is a sugar syrup. Rum. Pisco. I have some of that. Wow, that's a pretty fucking serious one. Rum pisco, which is Peruvian brandy, basically, grape-based, gin, orange juice, lemon juice, and they say put a sherry float. I don't know if any sherry. I've got port. Could do a port float on top. I'm half tempted for a fog cutter, actually. And the other one I was going to do is a zombie. It's one of these fun ones, the zombie, that you get lots of variants of it. Some cocktails are almost universally a thing, and some are different radically depending who makes it. So this is rum, orange curacao. I've got Cointreau, lemon juice, lime juice, orange juice, passion fruit puree, grenadine. Zombie number 2 is rum, applejack. I don't have applejack, but I've got apple brandy, which is the same thing. Papaya nectar, pineapple juice, lime juice, simple syrup. And another one, rum, lime, pineapple, grapefruit, falernum, cinnamon syrup, grenadine, Angostura bitters, dashes of absinthe. Yeah, I reckon I might do a version of a zombie, quite honestly. Rum. Red a Scorpion. I am well. How are you? So if it is rum third. Oh, traditionally, a zombie has as many different sorts of rum as you can come up with. Usually at least 3. I've got 4 sorts of rum. So, and a bunch of fruit juices. And I've got a few different fruit juices I could put in. And that would actually thematically suit my tiki mug that I'm normally drinking out of. And there's, again, some cocktail enthusiasts and purists are really fussy about the glass that you serve the cocktail in. There are traditional glasses to serve different cocktails in. And as I am not a commercial establishment trying to show off, I can't usually be bothered with that sort of thing. I mean, I have a couple different sorts of glasses I could serve in, and I do from time to time. Probably my favorite ones, these glasses, they're called Nick and Nora glasses. They look like a small wine glass, basically. And I've got these 2 where also the glass is etched in a nice way. So when I'm making cocktails for myself and Mrs. Angry, I often use those that may or may not have been liberated from a cocktail bar somewhere. You can't prove nothing. Actually, one of them definitely isn't, because I I did have two, and I broke one, and I went and bought a replacement. There's a place in Fitzroy that I go to semi-regularly called the Bitters Lab. They specialize in bitters. Like, they have literally hundreds of different variants of bitters, which I have about half a dozen here. What have I got? Chocolate bitters. And yeah, if you're a fan of serious chocolate, dark bitter chocolate, you'd really like this in drinks. Put a few drops of that in it. This is the one you see everywhere. This is just the traditional Angostura bitters, aromatic bitters it's called, and that normally has a range of herbs and spices. Here's the thing: bitters that you only put a few drops in. So, like, there's a quote unquote non-alcoholic drink that you can get in pubs, lemon lime and bitters, or soda lime and bitters, or it's normally like lemon cordial, lime cordial, maybe lemon juice, lime juice, and lemonade, or soda water, and a few dashes of Angostura bitters. And that's generally regarded as a non-alcoholic drink, even though bitters is over 40% alcohol, but you only have a few drops of it in it. Around 40% is a common alcohol rating for bitters. This is a 35% chocolate. There is actually one or two cocktails. Like, normally you only put a couple of dashes of bitters in a drink because it's quite strong and it really changes the flavor. But there are some cocktails where you put a full shot or more of bitters in the drink. Notably the Trinidad Sour, which I have made once and was okay, surprisingly. Safa, why is Melbourne Airport so windy? I do not know, but today and tomorrow, and possibly also the weekend, very windy. Like, it was sunny today. I look at the weather, like, it got to like 20, 23 today. And it's supposed to be like 26 tomorrow. And it's going to rain. They're saying Saturday's a bit warmer now. They were saying Saturday and Sunday were rainy and like 15, 16 degrees. Now they're saying some rain on Saturday, showers and windy, but 20 degrees. And then Sunday is only saying a tiny bit of rain, shower on Sunday, but 16 degrees. But yeah, good on you, Melbourne, turning on another shitty weekend for VidCon. This happened like last year. The week before VidCon, we had this beautiful weekend, and the weekend of VidCon, it was cold and wet, just making Melbourne look shit to the world. It's not good. What other bitters do I have here? This is lime bitters, which is nice. There's only a tiny amount of that lime. Because I like put that in Pepsi. I like flavoring when I have my Pepsi Max. Not sponsors of the show. Why am I mentioning the brand by name? They should sponsor me. I drink so much of it. But I like flavoring Pepsi Max. Now, of course, they have flavored versions on the market. You can get vanilla, which I don't mind. Raspberry, which I really liked when it came out, but I think I've gone off it. Like, last time I had some, I thought it tasted a bit medicine-y. And they recently came out with a new variant, creaming soda, which it's sweet. Like, it tastes really sweet, but there's no sugar in it, so it's scary, deceptive chemicals that make you think it's sweet. God knows what those chemicals do to you. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Like, you get the people who say the artificial sweetener in colas is, poison, blah, 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 blah. Shut up, you stupid conspiracy spreading hippie. I just know I'd probably be better off not consuming these chemicals, but fuck it, man. Something's going to kill you. And this it's like fairy floss. They call it creaming soda. It has this incredibly sweet taste, like almost to the point of tasting like fairy floss. Shoko, talk about personality in 2009. What you want to talk about? If I think I was different in 2009, I mean, you as an individual, I think, are often a very poor judge of your own personality. I randomly searched on videos from 10 years ago. And yeah, I mean, I honestly did many more random things on my channel 10 years ago. Got a fuck ton more views on my channel 10 years ago. I'm one of the people who adapted not at all to YouTube algorithm changes. Very bad at that. And I'm very bad at self promotion. And yeah, I was just looking. I used to do much more random stuff, like non-angry stuff. Certainly less talking about the issues of the day. So yeah, I used to spend. Oh, and I was also posting videos of Crawley, the giant cockroach we had as a pet 10 years ago. So yeah, I think I'm a shit judge at being able to tell you what my personality was 10 years ago. David, hello. How are you? Good evening. Yeah, I know the big change in my channel is 10 years ago I was doing a lot more random, unrelated stuff. Like, I guess arguably a lot of it was the more personal vlogging style of stuff. I certainly wasn't doing live streams a couple times a week 10 years ago. There was a period where I did live streams quite regularly on a platform called Blog TV, which died. They're all lost in the wind because they weren't on YouTube, unlike these ones that are doing YouTube now. Hi, Stella. How are you? In those days, I think I used to do a live stream once a week. And yeah, now I'm doing 2 or 3 a week in an average week because they're fun. Well, I do the Tuesday and Thursday ones, sharing a thing. I think we're half an hour in and no sign of AIDzee. I'm just going to send another text. Are you having misadventures again? Who knows what's happening to them? Oh, Christopher, you like the trivia games. You know what I was going to do? Because I've still got like Harry Potter trivia here. And I've got basically Star Wars trivia. I was thinking of if AIDzee shows up, maybe even getting a couple other people who are interested to come into the stream and have a trivia challenge. Safa, where's Mimsy? Good question. She was around a little while ago. Weirdly, saw a new, neighborhood cat walk across our backyard. I think it's just last night, maybe even I don't know. But very similar markings to Mimsy, because at first glance, when I saw this cat, I thought, that's weird. I thought I just saw Mimsy up the hallway. What's she doing outside? Then I realized it wasn't Mimsy. It was another cat. Very similar markings, but one difference was this cat had more white on its face. Still got the 20 questions. I found a replacement 20 questions machine, and this one is really shit compared to the one we used to do. We'll do an example. Try me. So for those who aren't, just try me. Oh, there we go. Something. Ready? So for those who don't know how these machines work, there's some little decision tree database in there. And the idea of 20 questions is the classic old game. Got to think of something. And, the traditional classifications are animal, vegetable, or mineral. So you get the idea in your head, and the idea is if you're normally you just play this among people, and if you're a very clear, logical thinker, more often than more often than not, you should be able to work out what a person is thinking of within 20 questions. Now, I had this really cool looking 20 questions game, and I don't even know where it came from. It was this big thing, kind of looked like a UFO, and it spun this thing around, did this LED things, and it was disturbingly good at guessing what we were thinking of. It felt like witchcraft half the time. And a little while ago, I tried to find another one, and for ages I couldn't. And then I found this one, which has apparently been made since like the 90s, and it's actually not that good. Oh, Charlie, you met a cute neighborhood cat named Caramello. That is a good name for a cat too. So the theory is, if we think of something, animal, vegetable, or mineral, and this thing asks questions and you answer yes, no, maybe, it's going to guess. So I was thinking we're on the topic. Who wants to play? Someone nominate. What should we get the machine to try and guess? Animal, vegetable, or mineral? It's weird sometimes because, again, the old one, which used to be really good at guessing. Aha, AIDzee's messaged. Having misadventures. Oh, wait, he's here. Look, he's here.
Indeed. Hello, everyone. How you going? Oh, hello. Sorry I'm late. Was having a little bit of equipment trouble.
How's it go? Well, you're here now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we were just talking about possibly playing 20 questions. I got my little 20 questions.
20 questions box. Yeah, right.
And it's nowhere near as good as my old one. I think this one's pretty dumb. Stella's saying if we're doing animal, vegetable, or mineral, as she's a geologist, she'd think up some obscure things. But the interesting thing is sometimes an obscure thing is easier to guess than an obvious thing because there's like only one answer for the obscure thing.
Yeah.
But whereas a common thing is so weird and common, it can be difficult to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
But I mean, this, like I said, this one in my experiments with it is kind of shit. But the one that used to have, it did some freaky guesses where it literally guessed abstract concepts sometimes. And
I remember that one. That one. I thought it was bad sorcery.
It was possessed by a demon.
Which is why I had to step on it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry about that, but
it's absolutely possessed by a demon. But yeah, it just died. I don't know why. It just sort of by the wayside for many years, and I found it again, and it did the thing where the thing inside it whirred around that's meant to light up and say the messages on the surface, but the lights didn't work anymore, so it was fucked. And so, wait. Charlie wants to know is AIDzee animal, vegetable, or mineral? Usually animal, sometimes in the hospital more than slightly vegetative. But
Mm, yeah, often vegetable. Yes, very
So
often vegetable.
what do you reckon we should try and get it to guess anyway?
When?
Well, no, just like animal, vegetable, or mineral. I want this machine to try and guess.
So do we say what it is, or
Yeah. We say out loud because it's not listening. It's not that smart.
what
It's
about
not a bloody.
obsidian?
Sorry,
What about obsidian?
obsidian. That's a good one.
Mm,
Okay, that's slightly obscure, but not mega obscure. Now, if it's not complete shit, I think it should get it. All right, so we say yes, we're ready. And is it animal? No. Vegetable? No. Mineral? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so question 2. Does it go inside other things? Well, it could. There is a maybe button.
I wouldn't like it.
No, you could put obsidian inside AIDzee. You could put in obsidian in a box, but so it maybe goes. It's not its default purpose, but you could do it.
Yeah.
Is it decorative? Oh, maybe. Some people would have a lump of obsidian on their fucking mantelpiece, wouldn't they?
They would, and they could, they could.
It's not a primary thing, though.
No.
Not its primary thing. So I'm going to say maybe.
It's a knife, and you can have a little
Yeah.
a pretty brooch of it.
Is it round? Well, maybe you could machine it into a round shape. We're giving it a lot of maybes.
Yeah.
Well, it could maybe be round. Question 5. Do you clean it regularly? Maybe. With every question it's asking, the answer is maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not helping it. Does it get wet? Well, if you throw a glass of water on it,
it could.
This is another maybe one. It's not definitively yes or definitively no. These are weird questions. Question 7. Do most people use this daily? Finally, something I can give a definitive answer to.
Yeah, no.
Do most people use obsidian daily? No, they don't.
No, they don't. No. No, it's definitely a no.
Yeah, okay. It does these interjection things that are trying to make it seem like it's actually intelligent. Like it just said, you're not just choosing answers at random, are you?
No, we're not
is it useful?
Machine. I mean, this is starting to remind me of those bloody assisted checkouts. There's no assisted about it.
Yeah. Oh, look, some dickhead at Woolworths changed the programming on theirs, and now it keeps going with the thing when they first came in, when you put your bag there, it would go unknown item in bagging area. And then they fixed it, so it did it, and now it does it again. So some fuckwit changed the programming, and it does that again. Anyway, is it useful? That's another maybe, because you could find some uses for obsidian, but you don't.
There's a lot of uses for obsidian, mostly blades.
You don't objectively go, there's some obsidian, that's useful.
Well, it gets, it was always mined for sharp things.
Yeah, because you can get sharp edges on obsidian.
Really sharp edges on it. And your South Americans were deeply into your bladed obsidian.
Got a heart out.
Japanese were too, weirdly enough.
Well, I was going to say, it's either maybe or yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, let's say yes, because there are uses for it.
There are uses for it, yes.
Question 9. Does it come in a box? If you put it in a box...
It doesn't come in a box. It comes
it comes out of the ground, doesn't it?
It comes in a volcano, and which is, a thing.
All right, I'd say someone could give it to you as a gift in a box, but that's maybe not it.
Well, if they got you a gift in a box, what can you what?
Yeah. On the topic of it can be a blade, the next question is, can it affect you? Yes, if an Aztec priest plunges it into your chest.
That's right. Or if, what do they call it? The teeth of the Chihuahua. So what they used to do is get a big stick and put chips of sharp obsidian on it, like a baseball bat, but like chips of obsidian up on the
Yeah.
hidden end, and they used to call
Okay.
it the teeth of the chihuahua, and that'd hurt.
This is another way. Is it larger than a microwave oven?
No,
Not usually. You're going
no,
to say no?
it's not. No,
You
it's
don't
not.
normally get
It
lumps of
can't be.
obsidian.
It can't be. It
You're saying it
physically
can't be.
cannot be. No,
Okay.
it physically
Can
cannot be.
can it cheer you up? I don't know if you like ritually sacrificing people, or if you
Really
like it as
can.
it. Look, the question isn't does it always cheer you up? It's can it cheer you up? And I think the answer to that is yes. You might have a nice obsidian knife that you're very fond of,
And
obsidian
obsidian's
necklace,
rare, and if you get it, it's kind of cool.
and it looks pretty and you like it.
Yeah, it can cheer you up. It definitely can cheer you up.
Oh, isn't alive? I like the simple, definitive ones. No, it isn't alive.
No,
But
it's not
why would
alive.
it ask that? Because it already asked if it was a mineral. Sometimes it wastes questions. Is it
Well,
man-made? How many
no.
man-made minerals are there?
Oh, there's a few. Plutonium is a man-made mineral.
Can it be placed on your head? Yes, you'd look silly, but you'd put a lump of obsidian on your head.
Could, yeah.
You could. I don't know that you
Yeah.
would, but you could.
You definitely could.
All right, it's just doing one of its between question taunts.
Oh.
Question
What's
16.
Question taunt?
I was just going to say it was going to get it on the first. Is it heavy? Okay, let's talk in purely comparative terms.
It is heavy. Then it's a heavy glass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say yes to that.
Yeah. It's heavier than all other glasses.
Do you know any songs about it? Ooh.
No.
No? You don't know any songs about obsidian? Now there'll be someone in the stream who's like a death metal fan who knows 50 songs that have obsidian in the title. You know, obsidian heart and, you know, my obsidian blade digs out your... But we don't know an obsidian song, so we'll say no. Question 18. We're getting to the business end. Okay. Do you love it? No.
No.
Some weirdo might, but we don't. Question 19.
I like it, and I can make it, but that's weird.
Yeah. Vulcan. It's going for an early guess.
Oh.
Is it a stone? I don't think that's close enough. And it's not a stone. You're saying it's glass.
But it's made of a stone product. It's got stone in it, which is why it's dark.
Yeah. No, but I'm going to say no. Stone's not close enough.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, this is question 20 now. It's going to take another guess, I think. Or is it going to ask another question? No, it's guessing again. Is it gold? No.
No.
Question 21. Now, it's failed the 20 questions, but it'll go up to 25. Does it bring joy to people? Well, I'm going to say maybe.
Maybe.
Because some weirdo might get joy from it.
Yeah.
Is it a metal? No.
No.
Question 23. Can it scratch? Yes.
Yes.
Is it colorful? No, black's not colorful, is it?
Oh, you can get rainbow colors out of it if you chip it right.
It's going to guess again. Let's see if it guesses it. It knows the general ballpark, I think.
Yeah, I think it's around.
No, it fucked up. It just said sand.
No, you've
Wondering if my... See, this one's shit.
Yeah.
The closest it got was its first guess when it said stone. There you go. It's a type of stone. So it kind of halfway got there, but yeah. No, that's pretty piss weak.
Yeah, it's not sorcery. I'm not going to step on this one.
Yeah, no. See, I've tried it a few times and repeatedly been disappointed with it. Also, because it's not as cool as the flying saucer one.
No, the flying saucer one was pretty cool.
But mind you, this was fucking hard to find. I don't know, a dozen or more shops until I found this one.
Yeah, right.
In fact,
I remember you used to have a Simpsons one too, and it was uncanny.
it was pretty good. Like it had all the characters from about the first 15 seasons.
Yeah.
And it was very good. I don't know if it's still around somewhere or if it still works. It was in the shape of a donut with a bite taken out of it, which was quite cool.
Yeah.
Actually, see, here's a weird thing. I'm just going to look up if I can buy a 20 questions machine online.
Okay.
So I'm going to look on Amazon first. 20 questions machine. See what comes up. No, those are fucking books. Right. Okay. That's shithouse. Change it to 20 questions. Toy. Card game. No, these are card games.
Yeah, you don't want card games. They no.
Okay, yeah, no, there's this. There actually is made by the same people as this one. It's not a little one because it's got the same logo on it.
Right.
Card games, magic. Oh shit!
What?
The flying saucer.
Oh well, there you go. Oh, the return of the flying saucer.
Okay, you will not fucking believe this.
Right.
Only one left in stock, and it can be yours for $299.
Far out.
Are these prices right? There's like a 20 questions game for kids that's $306. That can't be right.
That can't be right.
There's a Star Trek 20 questions for $30. That's half tempting.
That's close. $300
Fuck me, $300.
I mean, that's not. You didn't get the last one for.
I don't even know. I don't know where the last one came from.
Yeah, it was a random thing, wasn't it?
I really don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
And there's a Star Wars 20 questions, predictably, for $25.
Right.
Yeah, there are lots of ones that are made by the same people. Wow. Simpsons one, same as mine, donut with the bite taken out of it, for $75. Jesus.
What's going on? They've gone crazy.
I don't know. These are wild.
They've gone, I'm just going to go corporate.
Yeah, no, these are wild. All right, just for a laugh, I'll also check eBay.
Yeah.
And see what it says. We go 20. No. 20 questions toy. See what comes up. Yeah, it's the same one made by these people. Average around $30. Where is Sock Monkey Game? $482. See, these must be rare things. They've got the Simpsons 20 questions for $20, and someone else is selling it for $30. Second-hand versions of this for $3 or $4.
The Sock Monkey Game is truly the end of art, as we know.
Yeah,
and
pretty wild.
There is no further. There's no further thing to strive for.
Yeah.
Once you've got the Sock Monkey Game, that's it. It's over. You just go, right, I am complete.
Yeah.
I don't need to get up out of bed. I don't need to eat. And away you go.
Got a Harry Potter 20 questions for $20 or $30.
That's pretty interesting because there's a lot of shit that went down in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
you could go Basilisk Tooth. And,
pretty well. You know what? I saw this thing that the 20 questions UFO for $300, and I thought maybe that was a typo. But I've looked and go, no, $300, and it's like, and look, every now and then I do buy something stupid because I go, oh, you know, fuck it. I work in this job to get money, and I should occasionally spend it on something stupid, but not $300 for a 20 questions
Is
game.
it UFO the TV series or UFOs just generally?
Oh no! It's just in the shape of a UFO. I should okay. Now because I can share the screen. I can actually show people what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I forgot I can do that. So if I search again, look, I'll bring it up. I'll show it so everyone can see it. 20 questions toy. I wonder how much I would have paid for it. Like, definitely would have paid 50.
Yeah, probably. But well, I remember that that it was just something casual. It wasn't, it wasn't $300.
Yeah. There, now see that? That's what it looked like.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what it looked like. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it turned around and said stuff.
Yeah, where you see where it says animal there, it's using that whatever that technology is called, that's the rapidly moving thing that's got LED lights on it. And it gives the illusion of the letters there when it's actually just this thing moving really fast and flashing LEDs. But yeah, that's $300.
Okay, I don't. Maybe it's just got so rare that
I think it must be because it's rare.
You can't get them anymore.
Yeah.
And away you go. And Amazon's gone, oh yeah, supply and demand, buddy. That's how it works.
Reading the customer reviews, and there's like 40 customer reviews. They all like it. I was just looking for one that says this thing is fucking possessed.
Because it was. I
remember
it was.
You used to put the wind up me somewhere.
Because it could answer anything. You could give it any random crap and it'd be like, yeah here you go.
No, but that one, a couple of times, it like literally guessed abstract concepts. Probably, and because sometimes you could see it narrowing down with the questions. And we go, oh, it knows, it's just narrowing it down. It's narrowing it down. And it would get it. On very rare occasions, it would seem to be narrowing it down and you think it would have it and it would still get it wrong. That was very rare. But I remember one, like we literally had, because this was so weird, I remember it. The thing was a waterfall, which is a slightly weird thing to have it guess. And its questions seemed shit. Like it didn't seem to be learning from the questions and it didn't seem to be getting any closer. And we're like, question 19, and we're all going, no, it's got no idea. It's politics. Question 20, you're not even closer. And then it goes, is it a waterfall? And I almost threw it across the room.
How did you get there? Weirdness, bad sorcery.
It wasn't even close. And then it just goes, is it a waterfall? And everyone was like, it's the devil. It's the devil.
Well, I used to go that. I used to want to put it in the toilet because that's where you put the devil. Listen, can you make me small for a bit? Because I've got to organise a little something on my thing.
A little something. There you go. Yeah. Wait, no, that is literally the wrong button. There you go.
Okay. I'll scream when I'm back.
All right.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll mute myself so that I don't make any embarrassing sounds. And when I've sorted out this tech, I'll be back.
Yeah. All right. You sort that out. That's the thing. It's a halfway mark. I mean, AIDzee survived to a halfway mark. Yeah. finish my jus, and make myself a variant of a zombie to mark International Talk Like a Pirate. I think okay, I've got 2 card games you can see who can get the best answers for. I've got Harry Potter trivia and Star Wars Family Feud. Who fancies themselves a Harry Potter trivia buff, and who fancies themselves a Star Wars trivia buff? So you reckon you reckon the possessed 20 questions? See, that's why I wouldn't trust it. Like if you played 20 questions with, like Alexa or Google Home or something, I wouldn't trust it because it can hear you. Like I wonder if Siri would play 20 questions. I just thought of it. All right, and I'm going to keep it simple. Like, I'm thinking of a diamond, and I know Siri's listening to me anyway. It's going, hey, Siri, can you play 20 questions?
Which one? I found 5. Top 20 not technician interview questions and answers. Top 20 software engineer and programming interview questions and answers. Top 20 customer service and help desk interview questions and answers. The 20 questions murder mystery. And the 20 questions murder mystery. Which one?
20 questions is a game.
Okay, I found this on the web for 20 questions is a game. Check it out.
Okay, the people who made that toy have a website. And I don't know if their websites are any better. Please theme 20 questions by choosing below. Yeah, see, this says play it with Alexa. I wouldn't trust Alexa because Alexa is literally listening to you. I don't trust Alexa, not to lie. We can do themed Star Wars, Doctor Who, Disney, Simpsons, Star Trek. I don't know. Yes, Stella, why is my Siri Irish? Yes, you can. 1 or 2 generations ago of the iPhone, they let you choose the nationality of Siri. And for fun, for fun, I went Irish. I activated Justin's Alexa. It's just like, Alexa, order 20 large pizzas. Sorry, Justin, you're eating pizza. But that actually happened. There was a news story where they were talking about kids, as in toddlers. Are you ready to come back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm ready. Yes, I'm good. Hi, I'm big again. Hello, everyone. There you go. This is just lemonade, by the way. I don't get to have cocktails because I haven't been good.
No. But you normally don't have one here because it messes with your medication anyway.
Well, there is that. Yeah. If you want to see me really special and talk about some very different things, give me some booze. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you were saying you've seen a news story about?
Well, I was saying about kids ordering stuff off, the home assistants, Alexa, without the parents realizing, because the parents didn't have any sort of fucking lock on it. And the person on the news said, the kid said, like, Alexa, buy a giant gummy bear off eBay. And it did. But people reported because they were watching this on the news. And when the news person said this thing, it activated their Alexa. Ridiculous. And geckos wait for the bus.
Sometimes if you've got it set up just right, what's the name on the iPhone? What's the name?
Siri.
Siri will start to respond and give you stuff. If you hit trigger words, it'll come on and go, oh yeah, here you go, and it'll give you a web page, and you look down the web page and go, I'm going to go to jail.
Yeah.
You know, and
Hey,
it's
look,
like
the people who make this, unsurprisingly, have a website, and they have a bunch of themed ones. I want to try their Doctor Who. But first, tell us about yourself. I'm male.
And
15. No, they'll probably kick me off for being underage. I'm 21.
Right. You are 21. I thought that. A hard living 21, but still 21.
Okay. So the first question, well, we've got to decide what Doctor Who thing.
Oh, what about the silence?
The silence, great. I love the silence. They're great. So hopefully it's up to date. Okay. So we're going with the silence. Is it a sentient being, place, thing unknown? It is a sentient being.
It is a sentient being. But Doctor Who's full of sentient beings. I mean, Dalek is a sentient being.
Okay. Did it ever meet Rose Tyler? I don't think Rose Tyler ever met the silence, did she?
No, she never did.
No Rose Tyler. Is it female? No, they're very male looking.
Yeah, they are very male looking.
Does it have special powers? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
This is a good one. Is it destructive? I think the ones who invaded Earth, you would describe them as destructive.
Yeah, I think they were destructive because you couldn't see them. And then you had to have a little eye patch on to see them all the time. And you'd give them an order, and then, you'd say, make me a cup of tea. And then they'd turn up, and you wouldn't know.
Does it have horns? No, it doesn't. Nope. Is it annoying? No, it's scary as all fuck.
Yeah.
Has it tried to destroy Earth? I think yes. They were controlling Earth. I think they were pretty destructive. Can you see its face? Yes, but then you forget.
Yeah,
but yes, you can see its face. Does it have hair? No, they've got those big baldy heads.
No.
Is it large? They're not giving us anything to... It's taller than a human.
Yeah, I don't know.
Large is such a vague word.
I wouldn't say it's large.
No?
Nah. I wouldn't give it large.
Okay. Is it part of an organization? Yes,
definitely.
They are.
Yes, it is.
They are a collective. Can it be teleported? I don't know. If you've got a good teleporter, I'm going to say unknown. There is an unknown thing. Is it
do
tall?
an unknown.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm going to say yes, it's tall because it's taller than humans.
Yeah, it's tall. Yeah.
Is it larger than a Sontaran? Dude, I'm larger than a Sontaran.
I'm larger than Sontaran, just.
Was it involved in a time war?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
You're saying yes?
Oh, yeah. It was right in on the, when they got all the worlds and they stuck them in, the Daleks were going, righto. Yeah. And they were all like surrounding the TARDIS going, this is it. This is it. All right. We're onto it.
Does it appear often? No.
Oh, it did for a while.
Not often. No, it's been in like 3 stories.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Is it male? Yeah. I'm going to say yes. It looks male. Yeah. They present male.
Yeah.
Wrong. It guessed Rassilon.
No, it's not Rassilon.
Has it ever met Martha Jones? No, it didn't meet Martha Jones, did it?
No, it didn't meet Martha Jones.
Oh, God, now it's guessing the Zygons. No. Has it met the Doctor numerous times? Yes. Okay, now I've got it. It's the silence.
Yes.
That was 22 questions.
Well, that's all right. 22's all right.
That's okay. Okay. Themed ones are fun, actually. I do enjoy themed ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was much better at guessing the silence than this stupid thing was at guessing Obsidian. Oh,
Yeah,
PVR. Hello.
how you going, guys? How are you?
All right. You should look. So you went away for a while. I'm going to make you big on the screen. Given it's International Talk Like a Pirate Day, and is also Independence Day for the Caribbean nation of St. Kitts.
Mm.
Rum is obviously called for both
Yes, I
pirates
think
and the
you're right.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a version of the famous tiki cocktail, the zombie, because I've got 4 different sorts of rum. So,
Ah.
so
How do you make a zombie? Well, I
there are
guess you're going to
lots
show
of
us.
there are lots of variants of a zombie. Like I say, I was talking about it just before you came on. Like this one says light rum, dark rum, orange liqueur, lemon juice, lime juice, orange juice, passion puree, grenadine bitters. And then number 2 is dark rum, another rum, light rum, applejack, which is apple cider, not apple cider, apple brandy, papaya, pineapple. And then there's another one, which is Jamaican rum, gold rum, rum, lime. So I've got 4 different sorts of rum and a bunch of different fruit juices. So I am going to do my own variant with 4 sorts of rum and a bunch of different fruit juices. So I'll just get the bits.
Okay. I totally approve of what you're doing.
Good.
And if I was alcohol aware, I would be in it with you. I'd be giving it. Mind you, you know what? I'm pretty boring. I just like a scotch. I remember an old man once telling me, if you drink scotch before you're 40, you're mad and stupid. If you don't drink scotch after you're 40, you're stupid and mad. And I found he's right. That hurt me to find out that, before I was 40, I kind of, sort of slammed it down with ginger ale because, it's what you did.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
not really drinking.
after I was 40, I found a single malt was something to pray for.
Yeah.
You know, Stella's giving it a bit. I tried making a shopping list with Alexa. It seemed to
All right.
think I was shopping for
So
toes.
I'm just going to do half shots of these rums. So first
Why
one
are you
we've
doing
got.
half shots? Have you got something to do after this?
Yeah, stay conscious.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So where are we? The old Kraken Black Spiced Rum.
It's got handles on it.
Yeah, it's
So
very
it's saying you're going to get so pissed, you've got to have handles to carry it.
very pirate grog bottle design. So it's
Yeah,
like
you could carry it on a bus and go, I've had a hard day. I'm carrying this on a bus. Then you could yell at people on the bus and they'd go, yeah, fair enough. He's got a handled rum.
Right.
I can't believe you've got 4 kinds of rum. Oh, no, that's stupid. I can believe you've got 4 kinds of rum.
Of course you can believe it. So this
Because
is
you've
now
got everything else.
yeah, Captain Morgan Spiced Rum.
That's nice. I've had some of that.
Some of the Captain.
Mm.
Now.
I was living with a bloke who'd have a half shot of rum just before he went to bed every night, and I had one with him, and I had the Captain Morgan spiced, and I was going, and oh, lovely Bundy
Bundaberg's
clear,
white rum though.
yeah. Well, it had to happen. It had to happen because they kept on using a bloody polar bear on their logo.
Yeah.
And it was always sugar brown. And
Yeah.
you know how they got it to be brown?
Well, it's because it's made from molasses.
It's made from molasses, but they also put brown sugar in it. And they used to burn their casks and stick burnt. I know the wood. It's not oak, and it's not eucalyptus. It was gum tree. This will
Yeah.
put burnt gum tree in it. Not
This
eucalyptus.
this is the special one, Kasha, which is Brazilian drink. It's like rum's cousin. Rum's made from molasses.
Yeah.
But the base of this is actually cane sugar juice, which molasses is boiled down cane sugar juice.
Yeah, that's right.
But this is made before they boil it down. So it's a cleaner sort of taste. Now, because a few of them had variants, I'm going to put a variant. Mentioning brandy, I'm going to put a little bit of brandy in it.
Oh, what kind of brandy are you using?
This is Napoleon.
That'd be nice.
Napoleon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
The sop, as they say.
Do you remember the days when they used to have the brandy bongs?
Not particularly.
Right. So what it was a glass thing that you put the brandy in, and then you warmed the brandy, and some people just nuked it. Or you could put it over. They used to have a plate, and they used to have a like a metho candle under it, like a methylated spirits flame under it.
Yeah.
To make it not so hot, but warm. You put it on there, and you did it before it boiled, but you could see the mist rising off it, and you just breathe in the brandy, and you get all the flavour.
Yes.
And you go, oh, that was all very nice. And if you got through one of the brandy bongs, you'd be fucking hammered. It was really cool.
All right, so that's all the alcohol that's going in. So I'm also going to put in a half shot of lime juice. That's actually fresh lime juice. I got some limes from the supermarket.
Oh,
this is obviously not fresh. This is pineapple coconut juice, but
that's
because we're going
to make fresh, you've got to squeeze the coconuts, and you go, how do I get the brown bits out?
Yeah, so I'll put a full shot of that in because it's very tropical themed pineapple coconut. Ads feels out of place. He's only sitting there sipping a 4X, marveling that I've got more booze than Dan Murphy's does.
No, 4X is a fine drink. When you get to Queensland and you ask for anything else, they look at you funny, and then they punch you. And I understand that.
A little bit of was this passion fruit syrup. I got this from my cocktail specialty shop.
Yeah, right.
And a tiny bit of my agave syrup.
I seen that there. How's that taste?
It tastes like golden syrup, actually.
Yeah, right.
Agave, of course, comes from like a cactus plant. It's the base of tequila and mezcal, but that's obviously unfermented. It's the sugary stuff that they use as the base of tequila.
Right.
And it's designed as a sugar substitute for cooking, but because you often use sugar syrups in cocktails.
And
it's a one for one for sugar. Like if you're cooking something and it says 3 spoons of sugar, you put 3 spoons of agave in.
Is it less fat or something, or is it just
no? They're sugar. They're both sugar.
Right.
Probably the same calories as sugarcane sugar. I don't know.
Slightly different flavor, or?
Yeah. Because like the closest thing I've tasted to it is golden syrup.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Yeah.
So it's got more taste than sugar.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like golden sugar. All right. It's a nice color. It actually kind of looks like.
It is, isn't it?
It's an orangey color in real life. Kind of looks like a bit like a puddle on the screen, I think. But
no, it looks like orangey from my screen, which is bad. So
That's going to be a don't operate heavy machinery afterwards drink.
Mm-hmm. Happy Independence Day, St. Kitts.
Yes, St. Kitts and Nevis, I think it's 2 islands, I think.
Yeah, like Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Is 2 islands, 1 country, and they don't
Yeah.
like each other, which is weird.
Yeah, and I don't really know how. That's probably something the colonizers did, of splitting up the islands and saying, you're different and you're different and you're the same.
Mind you, I don't like Tasmania, which is fair enough, because it's Tasmania.
Just say, is Daniel here? I was going to say, who does? But Daniel, who normally comes into the chat, is from Tasmania.
I've been there and it's pretty. But
it is pretty.
You've got to have something for the FA-18s to do target practice on.
And you may be joking, but it was used for bombing runs for training.
For quite a while, actually, because they have this bluff cliff, and they had this field off the bluff cliff, and it was perfect to come in low, then have to flick up, find your target, hit it, and then get away again. And it was actually quite the difficult thing to do. And if it was, here comes the bluff cliff. If you stuff up, you're going to hit the cliff. So, but if you go too high, you'll miss your target. So it was a little bit of fly good or die, motherfucker. We've spent what was it? They spent $40 million on training the pilots, and the planes cost $20 million each. So you could lose 2 planes, but if you lost 3, they wouldn't give you another one. AIDzee's goatee looks like a map of Tassie. It does a bit, doesn't it? It does a bit look like a map of Tassie.
Pube face.
Yeah, it's a little bit. And I've got some islands up here. I could put source stains and have King Island, and what's the other one? Everyone forgets the other one.
I only remember King Island because of all the cheeses and stuff that come from there.
Yeah, that's right. And the milk.
Yeah. I like King Island.
Because in Victoria, we can have King Island milk because it's close enough. But, it's very expensive. So you just
yes, it would be. I mean,
it's like about $5.
I like their cheeses.
Cheese, it tastes good, though. It's very creamy. And King Island cream is to die for.
Yes, King Island cream's more common than the milk. But yeah, if you go to a specialty place, you can get the milk. Stella's suggesting you're thinking of Flinders Island.
There you go.
That was it?
There you go. That's the other island. Thanks, Stella. That's really cool. There's no bloody 20 questions with Stella. She just knows stuff.
One
you don't have to press a button with Stella. You probably could. But, she that's what she said. Not what Stella said. It's not what Stella said. She just said Flinders Island, and she was very polite, and I was being very impolite and not PC. Which reminds me, Angry asked me to find out where they, them, the pronoun came from, and I did a bit of research. Yeah, baby. Thanks, Stella. You know what we're saying. So, Angry asked me to find out where the pronoun they, them came from. And I did.
And I didn't explain to you why I asked you to look into it. And I will briefly explain to anyone. Notorious internet moron Ben Shapiro is one of these right-wing dickheads in the US who's, I don't know, got a really high profile from YouTube, and people have decided he's smart because he talks fast. And the weirdest thing, if you ever want a good laugh, if you're not familiar with him, check out a video, because he's got this weird squeaky Muppet voice. And he's only about 5'6" as well, which is hilarious. I mean, I'm a short ass, but kind of average.
I too.
Well, we're the same height, and which is kind of average for our generation. But younger generations are on average 2 inches taller than us.
Easily.
So Shapiro's generation of Western white males averages much closer to 5'10", and he's about 5'6", which again doesn't really mean anything, but it's funny and probably explains why he's angry all the time.
All the time. Yes.
And he talks in this in his stupid little squeaky Muppet voice. I can't even do it because his voice is that stupid. And his head, he's like a bobblehead. I'm not even exaggerating. You look at him and you think first that he's on amphetamines, and also someone's sped up the video because no one really talks like this and no one really moves like this. But Ben Shapiro talks and moves like this, and he's fucking weird. But he just does all those typical right-wing talking points, and he's one of his obsessions. He's obsessed with denying the reality of transgender people, and his arguments are just shit. Like, they're terrible. He gets the science wrong, but again, all transphobes get the science wrong. They declare there's only men and women, X, Y, and XX chromosomes. Simply not true. Like, they are scientifically illiterate. So he gets the science wrong, but then...
In fact, most people have 3 chromosomes.
Yeah, but anyway. Then he gets the cultural stuff completely wrong as well, and says, like, no, we've always just seen male and female. And it's like, no, dude, some fucking history and some cultural anthropology things. It's fucking Jesus. It's... And like what he tied the two together at one point, said, no, male has to be XX and women has to be XY. And that's what it's always been. That's always how we differentiate. It's like, Ben, how long have we known about chromosomes? And how long have gender roles been assigned? Okay.
And, you know, there's freaking Roman records basically going, oh yeah, this guy or this girl moved to Rome because she was getting hassled in her own town because she was different and had changed, you know, what she was. And they were like just going, oh yeah, this transgender chick moved to Rome because it's a big city and you don't get hassled there. And they were talking, this particular thing was talking about how lots of different people, it was talking about the cosmopolitan nature of Rome, right? This is this historian. No, not historian. It was a commentator at the time saying, oh, yeah, Rome's great because it's cosmopolitan. You get all kinds of people here. White, black, bloody. I seen a Chinese guy. And see, that's interesting because the Romans knew about China.
Well, they were seafarers as well.
Because of the trading links, right? And they thought they were mysterious because apparently they had a big empire, but they were never going to, they had said they were never going to hassle Italy. But Italy had fond memories of when the Mongols came.
Europe had a long memory of that, Yeah,
it's like they were different. You know, the Mongols were the only people who managed to invade Afghanistan properly.
And win.
And win. No one else has done it. And anyway, so this guy's like going, no, you know, it's a cosmopolitan place. Everyone moves here. And talked about transgenders and gays. Going, you know, oh, yeah, people move here from little towns and across the seas all the time because they get hassled at home. But here, you know, it's fine. Everyone will find someone, so you're good. And it's like, well, that was, you know, a little over 2,000 years ago. So, Ben, you're probably in the wrong ballpark here, mate.
Yeah, well, the reason I got you to look up the they, them as a singular, non-gender specific pronoun is because he's obsessed with saying, no, that's just the thing people have invented. They're just controlling culture. No one's ever used they as an indeterminate, single person thing. And it's like, dude, people always say, it's like, you know, you're going to get a delivery and the person who delivers it will have a notepad and they will want you to sign it. You might say he or she, but when we either don't know a person's gender identity or it isn't important, we say they for a single person. The weirdest thing is his points are so dumb and so demonstrably untrue that it's almost embarrassing to engage and say, dude, that's just dumb.
Yeah, I think if we're thinking about the same person, I think I've seen a panel discussion with lots of different uh, um, sexualities, genders, and just interviewers, and I think this came up, and they're going, "Well, that's all very well and good, but do you think you're being rude?" And if it's the same guy, it could have been a different guy. I was saying,
Yeah.
"Well, no, I'm being truthful," and just like, yeah, no, I didn't ask that. We're asking if you're being rude. And it's like, no, no, I don't care. And it's like, okay. And I think one of them said, well, what if we find out your faults and flaws and start
Yeah.
attacking them? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
And he was going, well, no, because that'd be personal. And the whole panel goes, oh, facepalm. And they sort of shut it down after that. It was like, yeah, this is going nowhere. Get the next guess. So, yes, I found out where they, them came from. It's a Soviet thing. Because what they were finding in committees was that women would often be the chair of the committee.
Yes.
And instead of going, Madam Chair, because it was all comrades, people. All comrades.
And comrade was a good line as well, a good gender neutral term. If you want a gender neutral term for someone say comrade.
Yeah, and they went, so the chair of the committee, they, them, because then you didn't have to be specific and you could put it down. And a lot of times in the Soviet era, you didn't write down who it was because they remembered the Stalin days. And if you got your decision
Didn't want a
wrong,
paper trail. Yeah.
you could go to friggin' gulag. So there's a lot of they, them. It has been decided in this committee that we're going to do our cues the other way around. And so what happened then was a lot of the Soviet language became what we would call PC because it fit neatly with a leftist description of the world without having to bring all the baggage with it. So it basically was all about, especially when the feminists were really taking off in the 90s. And they were going, no, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you right now. When they were taken off in the 90s, they were very keen to make sure they were not discriminated against. So they would bring they, them, and we were taught, I remember, to de-gender our writing as much as possible. I mean, this is you and me.
Yes, in the 80s.
In the 80s and especially in the 90s too. It was like de-gender the writing. So there was a lot of they, them. And that then grew up to neatly have to skip gender altogether. So there you go.
And the other thing I think you'll find across the Soviet one's a good one, and I think you'd also find across an incredibly diverse number of societies across the world, people have always had a gender neutral pronoun for when you're.
Well, go on.
I was just going to say, I found the Ben Shapiro video. We could quickly play a bit for anyone who's not familiar with him, just to laugh at him.
If you're into it, because I've got a thing about
I'll do it.
After.
I'll find this and put that on there, and I'll big screen the video. Wait, play, you motherfucker. What's it doing?
Merriam-Webster Dictionary has now added the non-binary pronoun they.
Look at his fucking head.
Because when I look at a book for definitions of words, what I want is a made-up definition of a word.
Made-up definition. All definitions are literally made up.
I was going to say, all words are made up, Ben. All words are made up. It's like Gingy and the Sponge, which is a fantastic word that I made up.
Look at his head.
It's really bouncing around, isn't it? Wow, that's like really angry.
Oh my God, he's such a dipshit.
Yeah. Well, there's
He's
that.
such a dipshit.
Yeah, total dipshit. Oh, yeah, right. About gender and language. Now, a lot of our language comes from Latin, and the other half comes from Greek.
Okay, I'm going to be Captain Pedant here and say a huge chunk comes from German.
Well, yes, but a lot of German comes from Latin, Captain Pedant.
I know, but it's the thing. That's what the joy of being a pedant is. When you argue points pedantically, you can usually argue the complete opposite with equal validity, because you're honing in on a tiny little pedantic point, and then you go, yes, unless you don't look at it like that, and then it's the opposite. Pedantry is fun like that.
But German also has a mixture of German Celt, like High German, Old German, and Latin.
God. If you ever want to piss off a German, when they say something in German, just go, you have a weird dialect, and they fucking freak out. Because there are actually, as you say, there's three key ones, and it's basically the names from a high, middle, and low German. But there's provincial dialects all through Germania.
Prussian, Bavarian, and the other one. What's the other one? It's not Alsace.
I don't know, but you get local dialects and this happened. Do you remember that band that I got for a major project at college? We did the shows in the theatre, The Sweets of Sin.
Yes, I do.
And the lead singer was German, and they sang one or two songs in German. And he would never translate the German song for me because he's a dick. No, I actually like Frank, but he was messing with me. He wouldn't translate. But we had some German students there, and I tried to get one of them to translate, and she just went, the fuck is he saying? He's speaking some weird fucking dialect. And this is where I discovered that was a thing. Because then I said to Frank next time I saw him, I tried to cheat and got another German to translate the lyrics, and she just said you were speaking a really weird dialect, and he just went, what, where the fuck was she from? I don't speak a dialect, she's speaking a dialect.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's like, okay.
That's apparently how you wind up Germans. Tell them they're speaking a dialect.
Back away slowly and let these two talk. So anyway, the Romans, the Latinate speakers,
yes,
used to have persona, and then they had hom and wir, right? So everyone was a person, right? You weren't a he, him, she, her. That wasn't it. Everyone was a person. And then when you needed to get specific, you could say he, her. But they didn't most of the time. But we're stuck with he, her.
Right. Yes.
So that's the equivalent of saying they, them. But it was way more specific of saying, it's like going around and saying human about everyone all the time, and then having to say he, him only when it was necessary. Only when it was absolutely necessary.
The comments have gone off into a mad thread about the different forms of German, Swiss German, Austrian German. Stella pointing out that Schwarzenegger's Austrian accent to a lot of Germans sounds like a really provincial hick. It's like a Dad and Dave accent for Germans.
Yeah.
He's like some big farmer with his accent.
Oh yeah, and
Inspector Rex. Do you remember Inspector Rex? SBS were
Yeah.
always running the German cop show about the police dog Rex.
yeah.
It's Austrian German, and Stella reckons the subtitles on Inspector Rex were laughably bad.
That has never happened in anything
Really bad
that's
subtitles.
in English. That has never happened. When you watch anime and you see the subtitles in anime and you're sitting next to a Japanese speaker, you'll sometimes get the what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
That's not the story. No,
Yes.
then they're saying no, that's not right. And you go, can I please watch this now?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they changed the story completely.
But they do. One of my favorites, a high quality version of that, the Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke, the English translation was done by one of my all-time favorite writers, Neil Gaiman, famous for Sandman comics and the novels that have recently been turned into TV shows, American Gods and Good Omens. Sandman's apparently coming as a TV series, which I'm looking forward to. But anywho, he did the English translation for Princess Mononoke. And I read a really good interview with him where he explained, he goes, it isn't a case of doing a word-for-word translation, because there are two reasons you don't do that. One is you want the mouth movements to kind of match up.
That's
and
right. Yeah.
really often, a literal translation from the Japanese to the English is going to result in a complete mismatch of the dialogue and the mouth movements. So you try to get the gist of it with the mouth movement. Is that also some idioms are untranslatable, and this happens.
And some of the cultural norms are so far away from anything an English speaker would understand.
Yeah, the one he highlighted is
Yeah.
when the soldiers were in camp, and one of them had made soup, and someone else tastes their soup and spits it out and says something negative, and in the English translation, he says something like, that tastes like horse piss. And Neil Gaiman says the literal Japanese translation is, that tastes like a woman made it. And because in the manly soldier world, that's the worst insult you could say. Say it wasn't a man who made this soup, it was a woman. But in the Western world, saying a woman made it, you'd go, duh, women do all the
women
and that idiom simply didn't translate. So I used something that was completely unrelated, but
and
clearly
also
negative.
the women cook at home. The women cook at
and
home.
They weren't.
Not,
if it was
not
a woman
in an
in the
army
army,
camp.
everything was fucked.
Yeah, not in an army camp. That would be right. But that's a lot of cultural idiom to get through and to explain in you don't have half an hour to explain, a line. There's another line that they use, and they call it the Battle of Mount. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it's a huge story about cultural change in Japan, and they use that line all the time. And it it leaves English speakers cold because it's about massive cultural change, and it's not anything that English speakers can understand.
So they have to make choices when they do the translation.
That's right.
And sometimes they make bad choices. Sometimes they make bad choices. Like there's a rumor like the Neon Genesis Evangelion is finally on Netflix. And because I never watched it all the way through, I watched bits and pieces when SBS were running it. And so I'm eventually going to watch it through. I've been doing it. But some people have complained, the way they've chosen to translate it, they've left out a lot of the stuff, particularly a lot of the sexuality and particularly the queerness in some of the Japanese stuff has been left out. And it's going, well, people make choices when they do these translations. And depending on your point of view, sometimes the choices are bad.
Yeah. And the other thing too, which is interesting, is that I know this because I've seen someone who did a master's on this, was gays, or most of the gays in anime are either comical, but especially villainous.
Yeah.
You don't get a gay hero ever.
Right.
And it's actually, I never thought that through until I was watching like a shitload of anime and went, ooh, hang on, no, they're right. There's no gay heroes, and they're mostly treacherous villains.
Yeah.
And if you watch Ninja Scrolls, it's a
Oh my
perfect
god.
example
Yeah. Well, if you watch
of
Ninja Scroll,
villainous guys, because the boss and one of the devils is faggy. The boss is clearly bi, but one of the most evil devils is yes, clearly gay as, and
yeah,
he gets his comeuppance in the right way.
yeah, but that's also, I mean, that's 95% of Western entertainment as well. You're not allowed to have gay heroes. They're
Yeah, but
tragically
that
flawed.
changed.
Yeah, it
That's
did.
changed.
God, you know what? I'm having flashbacks. Do you remember the old Sean Connery James Bond with the gay assassins? I forget
I
which
do.
movie that was, but it was hilarious. And the bit I always remember is at one point the gay assassins have captured him and they don't kill him. They throw him in the boot of their car. And I don't know, he apparently when they threw him, he like landed on a bottle of cologne they had in the boot of the car, because I know the gays were over cologned. And so
Yes.
he's smashed this bottle of cologne, and he escapes from them, and he's escaping through a sewer. And there's a bit where he comes face to face with a rat, and he's like sniffing. He's going, and he says to the rat something along the lines of, "My God, one of us smells like a tart's hanky." And I think it's me.
Yeah.
And he ends up, when this guy's about to kill him at one point, it's his overuse of cologne that gives him away. And 007 realizes the guy's sneaking up on him because of this over-the-top cologne he's wearing. Because the gays like to wear too much cologne. Apparently, that's how you tell. Apparently, that's how you tell.
know. That's how your gaydar works.
Yeah, there's no such thing as gaydar. It's just smelling them.
That's right. You smell them.
Oh my god! For a whole other day. Speaking of smelling them, is the guys who are so homophobic. Not only will they not wear a cologne or anything perfumed, they won't actually wash. There's one thing when they won't wash, like with soap, because they think that's gay. But there was a whole thread on Reddit a few years ago that someone found guys who won't wipe their ass because they think it's gay. If they go between their ass cheeks, that's gay. And like literally, these women are posting stuff that says when they're like having sex, the guy smells really bad, and she had sex with I think it was her husband. It was either a boyfriend or a husband, and he's lying on his back and she's on top, and him lying on his back left skid marks on the sheets. And she's going, "Is this a deal breaker?" And of course, everyone's going, "What the fuck?"
Yes, that's a deal breaker. That is
and one woman, this was a different woman, saying she's trying to convince the guy to wash up between the cheeks when he's in the shower, and he straight up says, "No, that's gay." Like, going between the cheeks is gay. Like the water will just, no.
Well, the water has a very gay making form. When you have liquid water in the Goldilocks zone, that's what makes the homo. You've got to tell water no homo when you have a shower, or it'll go ya. It'll try and recruit you into jumping the fence, which is what all guys do. Excuse me. Oh, didn't mean the feedback there.
You get a bit of feedback there.
Bloody the other thing that makes me laugh is you get the bears and you get the
Mm.
full-on bears
Mm.
who they don't use what do they call it, deodorant.
They're going
And
for the musk.
they're going for the musk, and they actually don't wash very much.
Oh.
They do wash between their ass cheeks because
Yeah, just not under the arms. I get
you know,
it. It's a
the water
fetish.
helps
But
them.
yeah,
And
if
it's
someone wants
bloody.
to,
It's about the manly man,
mm,
and if they've got a lot of hair, the shirt comes off.
yeah,
And you can be a bear without
yeah,
going the whole way,
yeah.
guys. You
Oh,
can wolf without being wolfy.
yeah. Stella
Yeah, I
also
like that.
raises
Good
a good
fun.
point,
Yeah.
guys. For fuck's sake, clean the smeg out of your foreskin. But
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately, I've been there, and
I'm friends with someone on Facebook who's a foreskin zealot, and every now and then I want to reply when they post some, anti-circumcision zealotry, and it's like you're actually factually wrong, but anyway. But
let it
but,
go.
but I know from long experience, just don't engage.
Don't
The
engage.
anti-circumcision zealots are pretty wild.
Mm.
Um, and they are super good at denying independently confirmed medical evidence. Again, what I love is they say, like, you say, well, it is a lot easier to keep clean without a foreskin. To go, yeah, but you can keep it clean if your foreskin. You roll it back and you wash it. Yes, you can. You actually can keep an uncircumcised penis completely clean. I've
Absolutely.
heard I've heard too many horror stories, notably from you, of ones that aren't kept
And
clean.
that's and let me just clarify. Yes, I've got a lot of horror stories of that, but in the main, in the vast majority, no, we're good. Yeah,
Because
we're
it
good.
is relatively easy to keep clean. You
And
just do it.
today we have showers, and
Yeah.
we have clothes.
Mm.
But you know, um, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not like the old days where we're running around stabbing animals in dirt all day and there's no water. And yeah, so yeah, the vast majority of our uncut brothers are very clean. But
Yes.
every now and again, you just get someone who's like, oh no, fail.
Yeah.
And the scariest thing I've ever seen was upon revelation, seeing a piece of chili, which they'd picked up from basically the bum of someone else, and I'm going, no, no, I'm not going near that.
Yeah.
No, you've clearly not had a shower for a week,
Yeah.
and
Not
that's
good.
a problem. Um, and yeah, he's asking, well, what's wrong with that? And I'm going, you want me to ingest week old shit? No.
Yes. Yes.
Um, that's no, not a thing. Anyway, yeah. So the Romans used to run
Anyway.
around going person. Everyone was a person, and then if it was absolutely necessary, they'd go. Um, See, that's the thing. We go man, woman, right? And that's all we get. Um, and that's all we get for description. Um, and you get the idea that woman is the addition or the perversion of man. And a lot of that is about the KJV of our Christian roots. And a lot of people go, "Oh no, we don't have Christian roots." Well, for 1,000 years, they were pretty much the only people who controlled language.
Yes.
And I found out something really scary. In the 1,000 years where our Christian folks controlled language, they got rid of somewhere between an eighth and a quarter of the words that were in common use
Yeah.
from the Latinate. They're just gone. They just went, oh, you don't need that word. We're not going to have that anymore. And then they fell out of use because no one knows what they mean. And you can go back and read some stuff, but it makes no sense because there's words in there that don't translate. Because in the Dark Ages they just went, nah, you can't have that word, that's gone. And only the people who had the right to learn to read were in it, but they'd get instructions to wipe out this word or wipe out that word, and that went on for hundreds of years. So enjoy your lunch.
Yeah, no, not good, not good. Yeah, so yes, in short, see, here's the funny thing with that. That was all revolving around that dumb shit from Ben Shapiro. I don't even know how to engage with the arguments of someone who's so stupid. It's like, yeah, dude, fundamentally, your argument is culturally incorrect, it's scientifically incorrect, and it's linguistically incorrect. Like, he's acting as if language is carved in stone and isn't constantly changing.
I've met a lot of people like that. I used to have arguments with a guy who used to say, "Oh, you can't have that. That's made up." And I just casually went, like, mate, all words are made up.
All words are made up.
Basically, we've made up words like crazy in the 20th century because technology has taken off.
Yeah.
Look, another thing that I like to remind people, because everyone's fucking in love with acronyms, right? It's massive in the computer industry. It's starting to creep into to engineering. Okay, acronyms weren't a thing before the space race. Okay.
Right.
And there was a lot of computers in the space race.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just let everyone know that acronyms were about making the Soviets have to look up big tables of words before they could understand what was going on.
That makes sense.
It was about making it harder for the Soviets to find out what was happening, because the Soviets were listening to everything and they were tracking the spaceship as it went to the moon. By the way, moon landing deniers, fucking beat that one. Because if the capsule didn't go all the way to the moon, you can bet your ass the Soviets would have been all over that.
Yes,
anyway,
it would have been a major propaganda thing for them.
They would have been fucking all over it, and the Chinese would have been all over it. Anyway,
it never occurred to them to say something as stupid as, "You're faking it. You didn't do it," because they just looked at it and said, "They've self-evidently done it. There are a variety of impartial scientific observations that prove they did it."
Well, the funniest thing was the tracking ships from America used to pass the tracking ships from Russia going the other way, and they'd wave at each other. And basically, a couple of times apparently they get on the radio and they'd say, "Oh yeah, mission's going well. Yeah, it's really going well." And then they'd pass each other again, and because they were just making up for where their radio telescopes were.
Yeah.
And the Russians knew exactly where the craft was, but the Americans put all these acronyms in to make the Russians look up these tables of acronyms, then translate it into Russian, and then know what was going on. So, there was a delay. Because remember, all of the American space race stuff was from NASA. NASA's a open source public organization. They have to release everything all the time. And these days you can look up any photo they've got. anything, any mission they've got. So there's like millions of photos, thousands and thousands of photos of Pluto, thousands of transcripts of instructions, and yeah, there's a lot of information out there. But
Yeah.
anyway, and people follow it really
Yeah.
carefully.
Yeah.
And if anything's slightly different, they'll get straight on the news.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was where the acronyms came from, and people still think it's a really cool thing to have acronyms. It's bullshit. They make language harder.
Yes.
And in engineering, in the 20th century, because remember we've had the Industrial Revolution, but now you get into the 20th century and things take off,
Yeah.
engineering wise, and everything was called a thing. You had a chuck key, you had a
Yes.
cotter pin, you had a chamfered cog, and these things were known and these things were understood. Also, if you had back in the day, back in the 17th and 18th century, a tall-masted ship of the line, there were over 400,000 parts, right?
Yes,
And in the
each
middle of
nail and each screw and each piece of rope and each piece of wood had a name.
they all had a name. In the middle of a battle, you could tell one of the younger ones, go forward, get me a thing from this deck, come up, put it in the aft position of another thing, and tell the bosun that it's happened. And you could expect that to happen in under 5 minutes because everybody knew.
Only one thing would happen. They wouldn't make a mistake because every word meant something.
Every word meant something, and every place was named. And it wasn't named, lunar excursion module. That wasn't it. It was named lifeboat or boarding boat. Two different things, two different tasks, and language is made up, and it can and does change as culture changes.
Yeah.
And so the idea of they them, it shouldn't be something that upsets people. And you get people like Ben Shapiro who are trying to hang on to some idea of what is right. There's no right when it comes to culture.
Well, that's what drives them crazy. They can't stand and they refuse to accept that there are no absolutes because they deal in absolutes. And that's where they go about cultural Marxism and postmodernism.
Yeah, exactly. It's a horrible socialist idea that there's no absolutes. And basically, they don't want to be communist. By saying, there's moral relativism. Oh no, you can't have that. Well, you can. Trust me, you can.
It's bedtime anyway.
Oh right, yeah, it is too. And I'm sorry I was late. I was having technical difficulties.
That's okay. When you say anything about all words are made up, it always just makes me think of the Simpsons episode where Lisa explains Schadenfreude to Homer, says it's a German word which means shameful joy. And Homer's response is, "Ooh, those Germans have a word for everything." And it's like, yes.
Yes, they do.
We all do. We all have a word for everything.
I love German.
That joke works. That's classic Simpsons because the joke works on multiple levels.
Yeah. I love German compound words, which can go forever.
Yeah, German loves compound words, yes.
Yeah, they're great. I love them.
Oh, the other thing I just want to say, we're talking about acronyms. Have you heard the term backronym?
No.
That's an invented word someone came up with. It's got people. There's this tendency of people to falsely invent acronyms for things. Like one I saw was saying, "Oh, I was today years old when I learned TAG stands for touch and go." No, it fucking doesn't. TAG just means tag. You tag someone. This happens all the time. People invent acronyms for words. You go, that word's actually an acronym. News stands for Northeast, West, South. Because And someone coined the term backronym for that when someone tries to retrospectively force an acronym on something and they swear it's true and you go, get
retconning language. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that we invented another word to point out to people, fuck you, you're making that up.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yes. News has been a thing for a long time. News was new happenings. It was the news, and it was plural. You know, what's the new? What's the news?
Yeah.
Because it was new stories. And news was important because you couldn't get it for 6 months. It had to travel. Because we forget that it wasn't a 24-hour news cycle. We forget.
No, it's quite a slow news cycle.
You know, if you sent a letter from Australia to Britain, it'd take 8 months to get there, and you'd wait 8 months for the reply. So you know, you could kind of be cruisy about it in the meantime. You know, can I have a grand piano, please? Yeah, sure, man. And then 1.5 years later, your grand piano arrives. Oh, I don't want it anymore. You know, send it back.
And anyway, I'm going to bed now. So
yes, it's go home time. Sorry, I was late. I was having difficulties.
That's okay. So thanks to all you fine people for joining us. Lovely.
Thanks for letting me on your device. I appreciate it. Sorry, I was late.
Yep. And look, we'll see you again another time. Bye for now.
Bye. See you.
Bye. Bye.